Hello, welcome to Health Scan on YouTube. We're going to be talking about asthma and of course panic attacks, which are associated very much with not being able to breathe. And I've cured an awful lot of people of asthma over the years. I'm going to read some extracts from testimonial letters in a moment. Did you know that asthma kills over 2,000 people a week in the UK? And that's an awful lot of people. What's that, 100,000 people a year or more die from asthma? And I'm not saying in all cases it can be cured, but in most cases it can be, and certainly relieved dramatically. 1 in every 5 people in the UK that have asthma as a child. 1 in every 5. There's 3.5 million people registered with asthma in the UK alone. Frightening. And I've yet to find a case of asthma I haven't cured completely or improved dramatically with a single food intolerance test. There's 2 reasons people suffer with asthma. One is that the brain has sent wrong signals down wires called nerves to nerve endings in the lungs, and they can become and do become very sensitive because of these wrong signals. And if you look back at my videos 1 and 2 and other videos on how the brain works and how it runs the body on my website, you'll see what I'm talking about here. But with sensitive nerve endings anywhere, especially in the lungs, anything getting in there can aggravate them even more and create all sorts of problems. But of course there's also a fungal problem that occurs in the lungs, and this is associated with lots of things around the body like irritable bowel and bloated stomach and respiratory problems such as asthma and so on. And it's something I specialise in. I know how to get rid of this. So combined with both the scanning that I do for the brain and the fungal problem information, we can cure you. In almost every case we'll either cure you or improve it dramatically. Let me just read from a few letters before we go any further. Okay, it has been 2 years since my first visit to HealthScan. My life has progressed at such speed that I have barely had time to catch my breath. 2 years ago I had difficulty taking a breath. I was in so much pain. I was weak and in terrible discomfort, and doctors offered me no explanation or treatment. I was just 25 years old. Terrible. I'm now happily married with my own thriving business. I work an average of 50 hours a week, and for the last 3 months I've worked 10 hours a day, 7 days a week, expanding my childcare business. And she goes on to explain the children and so on that she has there and what she does. Without the technology, she finishes the letter, without the technology and dedication that GERARD offers at HealthScan, I suspect that my life would not have progressed as it has, simply because I would still be waiting for answers from conventional medicine. Interesting, huh? Yeah, it's something wrong somewhere. You know, people queue up in hospitals and they spend hours and months and years popping around to see all these so-called specialists, and what happens? Nothing. They end up with steroid sprays and stuff. This is an interesting one. Finally, at long last, I am on the way to full recovery. I was at the point of desperation when I came to be tested. For years my doctor has been giving me prescriptions for salbutamol inhalers to assist me to breathe freely, but to no avail. I was totally unable to move, to walk or lie down. This is serious stuff. Panic attacks plagued me to the point that I was unable to use any form of public transport. So finally, after coming to HealthScan, Mr. KIELTY has put me back on the recovery path. I now travel everywhere on the underground with absolutely no fear or panic attacks. Breathing has become much easier, thus enabling me to dig the garden and enjoy many outdoor activities. I thank God for the day I went to HealthScan. Now there's an interesting comment, especially as it was written by a Catholic priest. So I'm in with the right people anyway. There's hope for me yet, and for technology from HealthScan. Asthma, panic attacks, IBS, obviously quite often associated, as I say, with these sort of digestive disorders. For many years now I have suffered bowel problems and panic attacks. I lost all my confidence and experienced tremendous breathing problems, so that my doctor has been treating me for asthma. I have been on puffers all this time. I could not walk far or for long. I somehow knew and suspected all along that something else was the cause of my problem. I came to the point of despair. Many times I thought I was having a heart attack. When this happened, I was left exhausted and vulnerable and afraid. Of course you would be. It's frightening, terrible, terrible condition to be left with, especially when it's fixable. Now, thanks to you, I've made a remarkable recovery, as you promised I would. HealthScan has really helped me back to good health. I now walk for miles and climb stairs and eat with ease, and do not need my puffers anymore. Changing one's diet is difficult, but what great results when one does. I am very grateful to you and all you have done for me. Changing the diet is not difficult for almost everybody. Changing the diet is dead easy, because when you start to change the diet, you start to get better, and that's really what it's all about, changing the diet. And it's something that you've got to do. I mean, there's no point in coming to health scan if you don't do that, because how can it work? You know? When you leave health scan, you have control of your health for the first time in your life. You're given the answers, and it's up to you to go away and follow the results, because there's no point in coming if you don't. It's wasting your time and my time, and it's wasting your money, and above all, it's wasting your health, because you know it's priceless, and the years to come can be healthy as opposed to being unhealthy and spending years and years coughing and sputtering or whatever people are doing, or rubbing stuff on or taking stuff that doesn't work when it's totally unnecessary. But the more you start to follow the diet when you leave health scan, the more you want to do it, because you realise it's starting to work. At long last you found something that is actually fixing the problem and giving you a better quality of life. And you can get on with your life, as I say. And there are no losers apart from the drug companies, I guess. A lot of the doctors that you kept in the job. But that's not your problem, that's theirs. Another letter. It's now 4 months since I gave Chloe her health scan. In that time her health has improved so much. She's a 7-year-old at 7-year-old. Today she was officially discharged from the outpatient department at the hospital. Her weight is now as it should be for a 7-year-old, and her cough has gone completely. No more steroid inhalers or medication of any description. Many thanks to you and your computer for helping Chloe to look and feel so much brighter. Isn't that lovely? A little 7-year-old, and you can give them a quality of life. I love it when people bring children to me, because I know what I can do for them, as opposed to seeing somebody who's 80 years old and has had the best part of their lives, and wishing that they'd seen me years earlier. Obviously this technology is only 14 years old or so, so anybody older than, whatever, 15, 20 wouldn't have been able to be involved with this in the way that people are today. But when children come in, it really does, I love it, because I know I can give them a better quality of life. It's not just with asthma, it's with lots of other things, whether it be hyperactivity or anything else, and we'll be looking at that in more detail on other videos. Okay, run a little bit short on time. Do be sure to check out my website, healthscan.co.uk. Again, I'll just show you my book here, Why Doctors Don't Make You Healthy. I think you'll find that very interesting, and it explains an awful lot about how drug companies and doctors and politicians tend to be working together to make a lot of money out of people rather than making them healthy. And if drugs made people healthy, when you think about it, drug companies wouldn't be there. In fact, the market would be reducing. So it's interesting to think about things like that. The ISBN number for this book is 978-1847-47-0003. You can review it on my website. It costs £10 in the UK. Okay, I also provide online health advice on my website for anybody that is living on the other side of the world that needs help. Please look at that. It's very valuable. It works very well for most people. If you live anywhere within Europe, contact me, because I travel through Europe extensively in my work. I work at Harley Street, and I work in lots of other places, and several places around London and England in general. But do let me know how I can help you. I'll be very happy to do so. Contact me through my website. All the very best now. Bye bye.